Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a detailed video on how I made this lace frontal short wig. I've made this into a unit this time and will be showing you exactly how I achieved this look.
Think I can fly.
I've bought my lace closure from AliExpress. It's 13 by 4 inches. Now the knots have not been bleached, so I'm going to start by bleaching the knots of this closure. Now I'm going to be using 12% developer and some bleach, and I just apply that into a mixing bowl and mix it so that it's like a creamy texture, and then I just begin to apply the bleach onto the back of the closure in a dabbing motion, making sure that it's spread evenly across the closure, and then I allow it to set and process for about 25 minutes. I'll be dyeing this hair black, so I'll be using the Star Soft Pro permanent hair dye in jet black. It's a powdered dye that you mix with a little bit of water, and then I begin to part the hair from the closure in small sections and gently apply the product onto the hair and just work my way through the whole of the closure and leave it to process for about 15 minutes. The colour of this lace is a lot lighter than my normal complexion, and I want to adjust this colour to be slightly darker. I haven't done this before, so what I decided to do is use the residue from the dye pot and mix it with a lot of water until the water is not too dark, and apply the lace into the water for about 1 minute. After that, I checked the lace colour to see whether or not it matched my skin, and I knew that the colour of the water was perfect in order for me to then apply the full closure into the water and allow it to sit for about 1.5 minutes. Now, in order to make this wig, I'll be using a mannequin, the back of a wig that I cut off, the lace closure obviously, a dome cap, a needle and thread, and some scissors and a cutting comb. As for the back of the wig, I actually buy a full wig, and I buy it from a seller called Ethel Hair from AliExpress. This is how it comes. It's all been sewn onto a wig net, and then I just literally cut off the back. Now I'm going to start by putting the dome cap on my head first and applying the closure and aligning it, making sure that it's in the right place. A good way to do this is to actually tie the hair to the back and tie it really tightly, and then I'm also going to just put a few stitches in just so I know where I need to sew when I take off the cap and put it back onto the mannequin head. I like to just sew on the sides, you know, in the middle. It just gives a good outline and forms a good basis of where I need to sew. So once I've applied the cap back onto the mannequin head, I'm literally just going to sew around the parameters of the closure and making sure that it's sewn nice and tightly onto the dome cap. I am actually going through the dome cap, and I will tell you exactly why in a moment, but this is how it should look when it's finished. I'm now going to get the back of the wig that I've cut up and align it onto the dome cap, just making sure that it's in the right position, and then I'm simply just going to sew onto the dome cap and onto the closure as well, so both pieces are going to be connected, and making sure that I'm going through the dome cap as well so it can be nice, tight and secure. And I'm literally just going ear to ear, just sewing it round again, just making sure that it's nice and tight so the unit is stable. And once that's done, this is how it should look. Everything should all be connected. Now I've taken the unit off the mannequin, and I'm going to go ahead and cut away the dome cap from the closure. Now I didn't sew down the back of the wig to the back of the dome cap, and the reason why is because I'm actually cutting out both ends. So the purpose of the dome cap was to provide a strong basis from where I've connected both the lace closure and the back of the wig. So when it's finished, you should just get like a line, like a nice strong elasticated connecting piece, if anything. And I just like to do this just so it's secure. And the reason why I cut off the back is because we already have a back of the wig, so there really is no point of having an extra piece at the back of your head. This is enough to be secure. I'm now going to go ahead and cut away the lace from the front of the lace unit, and I'm not cutting too straight at all. I'm just kind of cutting in a jiggy-jaggy way, and then I'm going to be applying the unit onto my head. Now, I personally like to sew on my units, but you guys can add combs and elastic band or anything in order for this wig to be secure, but I personally sew on my wig.
You give it all away.
As for cutting and styling this unit, I'll be cutting it on my head as opposed to cutting it on the mannequin. I just find that I can gauge it more when it's on my head, and of course the mannequin isn't a true representation of my head. I'm also going in using scissors as well. This hair was Peruvian and it was a little bit more difficult to cut when I compare it to cutting Brazilian, but again I just keep going over the areas and making sure that I just keep checking and cutting again, checking and cutting again. As for the shorter side of this unit, I just continued to cut down until I was happy with it, and this is the first initial cut. And what I like to do is actually wrap this hair. I wrapped it actually overnight just so that the hair can settle, and I went back to it the next morning. The next morning I unwrapped my hair and applied a little bit of powder to the line and the closure and just blended it out, styled it, put some straighteners in, and that was it, guys. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it very helpful, guys. Please make sure that you check out all the info that I've put in the description box, and as always feel free to ask me any questions about how I did my hair or anything else. Alright guys, take care. Bye.